In the vast and imposing world of ancient Rome, power was not only conquered with swords and legions. Imagine the Mediterranean, not as a calm sea, but as a blue battlefield, where the silence of the waters could be broken at any moment by war cries and the sound of breaking wood. For the Romans, these uncharted waters were both a gateway to new lands and a silent threat that could swallow their empire. In the beginning, Rome feared the sea. The idea of sending their forces to fight on the waves seemed as risky as facing an invisible enemy. The land was solid and reliable, but the sea was treacherous and full of dangers. Pirates lurked around every watery corner, ready to plunder unsuspecting ships, and the mighty fleet of Carthage dominated the Mediterranean, imposing its control and challenging anyone who dared cross its path. But Rome, known for its courage and determination, could not stay out of this game for long. With an iron will, the Romans decided that to secure their empire and protect their vital trade routes, they needed to face their fears and take the seas for themselves. And so, they began to build a navy that not only sailed but dominated the waves. They transformed from hesitant novices into masters of the Mediterranean, creating strategies and innovations that would forever change the course of naval history. This is the story of how a land nation became the queen of the seas. A story of courage, innovation, and above all, an unrelenting will to conquer and protect. Let us embark together on this journey and discover how the Roman navy emerged from the dark waters to become an unmatched force, challenging everything and everyone in its path. But before we continue, just check if you're already subscribed, because on this channel, I'll bring a series of videos like this one that will help you discover, study, and explore the Roman Empire. In the early days, Rome was not known for its naval strength. While other civilizations, such as the Greeks and Carthaginians, developed their fleets to explore and conquer, the Romans focused their energies on land. Agriculture, land trade, and the expansion of their borders through disciplined legions were their main concerns. The idea of venturing into the open sea was viewed with suspicion, a task for other peoples. By around the 4th century BC, the Romans still limited themselves to small-scale coastal operations. They protected their trade routes and warded off pirates from nearby waters, but they never dared to confront maritime powers in their own territory. With the expansion of their conquests and the increase in their ambitions, they began to realize that control of the seas was essential for their survival and growth. It was the need to confront a powerful and experienced enemy at sea, like Carthage, that awakened Rome to the importance of a strong and innovative naval force. The awareness that they needed to dominate the Mediterranean led Rome to seek new methods and strategies to build a navy capable of meeting the challenges that lay ahead. When the Roman Senate decided to confront Carthage, they knew they were embarking on one of the greatest adventures in their history. Carthage was no ordinary enemy, it was an established naval power, with decades of experience in naval battles. To compete with such an imposing force, Rome needed a navy that was more than just ships and crews. They needed an innovation that would change the course of battles. Initially, the Romans adopted the tactic of ramming, which involved intentionally colliding with enemy ships using the reinforced prow to damage or sink the adversary's vessels. This technique, simple but effective, used the momentum of the rowers to strike the fragile hull of the opposing ships, causing great damage and often sinking them. It was a straightforward tactic that leveled the naval battlefield and allowed the Romans to use their brute strength to combat the more experienced Carthaginians. However, the Romans soon realized that they needed more than just ramming to overcome Carthage's naval experience. Then, in a crucial strategic move, the Romans managed to capture a stranded Carthaginian ship. This event marked a turning point. By studying the captured ship, the Romans not only understood their enemy's shipbuilding techniques but also decided to use the ship as a model to build their own fleet. Determined, they launched an armada in record time, including the imposing quinquiremes, which stood out for their power and robustness. The true innovation came next, with the invention of the corvus, a revolutionary device that would forever change the way naval battles were fought. The corvus allowed Roman soldiers to board enemy ships and fight as if they were on land, turning naval confrontations into infantry battles. With this strategy, Rome began to achieve surprising victories, such as at the Battle of Mylae, where for the first time, a Roman fleet defeated the experienced Carthaginians. With the introduction of the corvus, the Roman navy had taken a significant step toward becoming a formidable force in the Mediterranean. But Rome was not content to merely imitate or adapt, it constantly sought to improve and innovate. Adaptation and creativity were hallmarks of the Romans, and it was precisely this mentality that drove their naval success. During the early battles, the corvus proved to be an effective weapon, turning naval combat into an extension of the land battlefield, where Roman legionnaires had a great advantage. However, the Romans realized that the corvus had some disadvantages, especially in rough seas, where the additional weight made the ships less stable and more prone to sinking. Nevertheless, one of the oldest and most effective tactics that Rome learned to use was ramming, which involved intentionally colliding with enemy ships using the reinforced prow to damage or sink the adversary's vessels. This technique was particularly useful against less maneuverable ships and became a fundamental part of Roman naval strategies during the Punic Wars. To improve their naval skills, the Romans also sought inspiration from allies and cultures advanced in navigation techniques, such as the Greeks. Greece, known for its naval tradition, especially the use of triremes, fast and agile ships, influenced Roman naval design and strategy directly. This collaboration with Greek naval experts brought new ideas and technologies to the Roman navy, making it more efficient and deadly. Rome's ability to adapt and learn from other cultures was one of its greatest assets. Although they had faced the Greeks in various battles and wars, the Romans also recognized the value of Greek naval knowledge. Greece, known for its maritime tradition and excellence in shipbuilding, had much to offer in terms of advanced navigation techniques and ship design. After the conquest of Greece and the absorption of its culture, Rome incorporated Greek naval experts into its own ranks. Greek knowledge of triremes, light and fast ships used for quick maneuvers in combat, directly influenced Roman naval design and strategy. Instead of relying solely on brute force and ramming, Rome began to adopt more refined tactics, combining agility and power in their naval operations. This cultural collaboration not only improved the effectiveness of the Roman navy but also exemplified Rome's ability to learn from those they conquered, using this knowledge to further strengthen their position as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. With the Roman navy consolidated as a formidable force in the Mediterranean, a new threat began to emerge: pirates. These were not simple sea thieves, they represented a significant threat to the trade routes essential for Rome's survival and prosperity. Maritime trade brought not only wealth but also the grain needed to feed Rome's growing population. If the pirates were not contained, the very sustenance of the empire would be at risk. In 67 BC, the situation reached a critical point. The pirates became bold enough to attack the port of Ostia, at Rome's doorstep, disrupting the flow of vital supplies. To confront this growing threat, the Senate granted special powers to Pompey, one of Rome's most respected generals. In a campaign of just 3 months, Pompey mobilized a large fleet and launched a coordinated offensive. Pompey divided the Mediterranean into several zones, delegating commanders to patrol each area. His systematic and decisive strategy resulted in the capture of thousands of pirates and the destruction of their strongholds. Pompey's campaign not only restored the security of trade routes but also reaffirmed Rome's control over the seas. The Roman navy proved to be a force capable of dealing with both external and internal threats, ensuring the stability and security of the empire. The strength of the Roman navy was not only used against external enemies. Over time, internal rivalries for power in Rome led to a series of civil wars, where the navy played a crucial role. The naval fleets became instruments of power in the hands of ambitious generals, who used them to control supply routes and influence the outcome of conflicts. The Battle of Actium, in 31 BC, was one of the culminating points of these internal struggles. In this decisive naval battle, Octavian faced off against Mark Antony and Cleopatra in a fight for supreme control of Rome. Octavian, with a well-equipped navy and strategically commanded by Agrippa, managed to encircle and defeat Antony and Cleopatra's fleet. The victory at Actium not only secured Octavian's dominance but also marked the end of the civil wars, paving the way for his rise as the first emperor of Rome, known as Augustus. Under the rule of Augustus, the Roman navy was reorganized and strengthened to ensure the peace and stability of the empire. Augustus understood the importance of a strong navy not only for defense but also for power projection and control of trade routes. He established two large Praetorian fleets, the Classis Missinensis, based in Misenum, and the Classis Ravennatus, in Ravenna. These fleets formed the core of the imperial navy, always ready to respond to any threat under the direct command of the emperor. In addition to these main fleets, Augustus also established a series of smaller provincial fleets, strategically positioned in different parts of the empire. These fleets were responsible for patrolling rivers and coasts, providing logistical support to legions, and ensuring that Rome's power was felt throughout the Mediterranean. The new naval structure implemented by Augustus not only maintained security but also facilitated imperial expansion and control. With the rise of Augustus to power, Rome entered a new era of stability and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. During this period, the Roman navy played a vital role in maintaining order and protecting the vast empire. The Praetorian fleets in Misenum and Ravenna became symbols of Roman strength and readiness, capable of responding quickly to any threat that arose. Augustus also promoted the construction of new port facilities and the modernization of existing ones, such as the port of Ostia, which became one of Rome's main supply centers. The robust infrastructure ensured that the navy could operate efficiently, providing logistical support to legions spread throughout the empire and keeping trade routes open and secure. Despite its success and the vital role it played for centuries, the Roman navy eventually faced a decline. Over time, external threats diminished, and Rome's focus shifted more toward internal challenges. Decreased resources, corruption, and the gradual loss of discipline contributed to the weakening of the naval forces. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire in AD 476 marked the end of the Roman navy as a unified and powerful force. Coastal regions fell into the hands of barbarian invaders, and the once feared navy was divided and dispersed. However, the impact of the Roman navy did not disappear completely. The techniques of shipbuilding, innovations in combat tactics, and the coastal defense system developed by the Romans significantly influenced future naval forces. The legacy of the Roman navy continued to be felt in the Italian maritime republics and other emerging naval powers of the Middle Ages and beyond. The notion of naval power as an essential component for the maintenance of an empire was a lasting lesson. By mastering the seas, Rome demonstrated that control of the waters is crucial to control of the land. Even after its decline, its navy left an indelible mark on the military and naval history of the world. Over the centuries, the Roman navy evolved from humble beginnings to become a formidable force that changed the course of history. Their innovations, such as the corvus, the adoption of hand-to-hand combat tactics at sea, and the ability to adapt the knowledge of other cultures, such as the Greeks, enabled Rome to conquer and control the Mediterranean, which was essential for maintaining and expanding its vast empire. The victories against Carthage, the relentless fight against pirates, and the decisive role in internal civil wars showed that Rome was not only a land power but also a master of the seas. Under the command of Augustus, the navy consolidated as an essential tool of peace and order, protecting trade routes and ensuring the unity of the empire. Even after its decline, the legacy of the Roman navy remained. It left valuable lessons about strategy, innovation, and the importance of naval mastery for any nation aspiring to lasting power. The story of the Roman navy is not just a tale of victories and battles, but also a testament to the adaptability and resilience of a people who, against all odds, became one of the greatest empires the world has ever known. If you enjoyed learning more about the powerful Roman navy and its impact on history, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content about ancient history. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time.